now. So, any questions before we go live?
No. Are we just? Well, I do have a quick question. I know. Are you just going to be asking questions, or do I need to show anything presentation wise?
No. We're just going to have. This is a conversation with us women, and we're going to talk about. I have some questions, but also I want. This is a conversation. So if you all want to jump in with information, don't feel like. You have to wait on me to ask you a question specifically. There may be one or two questions that I ask for you all specifically because of your particular roles in what you do. But otherwise, please jump in. If somebody else brings up a good comment that you all want to feedback on, please do that. We're going to be here for the entire hour, and it'll fly by very, very quickly. And then also I'm going to share where you all can also pick up this link and be able to share it out to others also past this conversation today, okay?
Willie, I'm trying to join on my iPad so that I can quit having the phone fall over on me. And it is saying, please enter a meeting password.
Okay. Hold on a minute.
This is my first time with this app. I apologize.
Now, are you trying to join the Zoom on another device?
Yes.
Okay.
And then if I do that, I'll shut down this one.
Okay. Do you want to shut down this one?
I'd like to put it over on my iPad. It would just be easier.
Okay. All right. Let me give you the password. I'm gonna pull it up. Oops. Actually trying to print up the email that I sent this morning.
Sorry, I'm back.
Okay, we go to sent. Okay, here you go. Okay, the password is 798822.
All right, there we go. All right,
Okay, I'm going to admit you in, and then I'm going to close you out of this other one, okay?
Sounds good. I appreciate it, Willie. Thank you. I'm glad one of us knows how to use it.
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
Oh, I love that background. Okay,
that is a picture of. It is a picture of the sticker that they put on our trucks for all the essential workers.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I thought I had it last night when I was trying to set up Zoom that you'd be able to see it better, but I guess not. I think it's backwards. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, how do I do this? One of these days I'll figure this out. Oh, well. I'll have to work on it later. I have no clue. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I think we're live now. Make sure. Okay. All right, this is Willie Jones, and I'm president of DSC Training Academy. And this conversation today is in partnership with Women for Progress Radio Network and DSC Training Academy, a truck driver training school to engage individuals and empower them in jobs for higher salary and great opportunities. And today I'm so excited to talk. Women for Progress is an organization that empowers women and disseminates information to its community so the community can empower itself. So how fortunate for us to be having this conversation today about non-traditional jobs and career opportunities for women. And I have some really powerful, dynamic, courageous individuals that is joining me today on the conversation. So I want to get started right away. So I want to let you know that, of course, we're live here on Facebook on the Women for Progress page. But also afterwards, if you like if you don't have time to listen to the entire hour, this entire broadcast can be picked up on our radio network, Spreaker Radio, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, everywhere you get your podcasts, even YouTube. This is live on YouTube. So you can go back and there will be a link on this Facebook page that you can get this recording. We want you to share this conversation with as many women as possible. We want them to consider these great opportunities to empower themselves. And transportation is the one industry right now that's, I think, is going to save America. Because a lot of the companies that are not coming back online have closed its doors, and those who may not even open their doors till later this year. So these are opportunities we want to be able to share with all Americans that they need to take advantage of. And transportation needs you. There's still a demand for drivers, and we need you. We need both men and women coming on board of this industry. So thank you for joining us today. And we're going to look to have many more of these conversations around non-traditional careers for women. So we want you to stay tuned to our network and be able to connect with us. Now, I want to introduce the incredible women that are with me today. Tina Singh is director and owner of the California Truck Driving Academy for the past 2 years. After 25 years in the financial services industry, Tina made a sharp turn into an exciting and rewarding new venture. She applies many of the same skills learned on Wall Street to Main Street business. She says, I love bringing jobs and opportunities to the community. So welcome, Tina, to our show.
Hi, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone out there.
And
Glad
I
to
want,
be part of it.
Thank you. And I want to introduce one of the most incredible women and relationships that I've developed over the last few months, Miss Shakira Washington, who is a recruiter for one of the largest motor carriers in the country, one of the oldest motor carriers in the country, and one of the most outstanding motor carriers in the country, Swift Transportation. They have such a great opportunities out there. I just cannot tell you enough, but we'll talk about that a little bit. So welcome, Shakira, to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
And this is not your first visit with us. We've had the conversations before, and so thank you so much for your support of not only DSC Training Academy, but we really appreciate your support of careers here in the state of Mississippi. And then we have Miss Donna Jennings, who's a new one of my new persons that I've met this week. Miss Donna Jennings grew up as a military brat. Sitting still wasn't in her blood, but family was. She is the oldest of 4, single mother of 4, and now grandmother of 4. 444. We need to go play that in the lottery, Donna. But with Total Transportation of Mississippi, she found an even bigger family. She has been with Total for almost 5 years, and within the company, she has driven team, solo, dedicated, owner-operator, and is now a trainer for new drivers. Woo woo! With a CEO that tells his drivers they are his family and ends podcasts with "I love y'all." No wonder both Donna and other 25% of company drivers that are women feel like Total Transportation has become their home. That's a great number, Donna. And why don't we start with just that? Because when you say that Total has 25% of its staff as women, that is an incredible, incredible number. How did Total get to those numbers, and what type of culture at Total made that a place for women to come to?
Family and respect. We have a leader in John Stomps that treats women as if they're family and with respect in the same manner that the men are treated. We have for the last 2 years been voted with the Women in Trucking Association as one of the top companies for women in trucking. You see the same, and it is really one of the reasons that I got into trucking. It was a way for me to be able to make men money and in a career that I'm able to do.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not lifting brick to the top of a building or getting on a roof, but I can do it here, and we're treated the same. And so it just made it so that we stay. And obviously, if it's a good place to work, and you're going to tell your friends.
Right. Thank you so much, Donna, for that. And Shakira, also, I know that Swift is doing something specifically around getting more women involved and getting part of the company also.
Absolutely. Currently, we also are doing over-the-road bonuses as well. We also, as Donna mentioned, we want to create an atmosphere whereas women also feel empowered, but also feel that they're treated equal. And that's honestly the beauty about this industry, whereas pay is the same, there is no difference. And we honestly, as women, can do it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exciting. And Tina, you, of course, are running a large truck driver training school operation there in California, one of the major states in the United States. And of course, what I loved about your story that I had to share was, and that's what I say to women, because people think that truck drivers come from a particular area of the community, but you came from Wall Street and now you're in transportation. Wow. So why should women be choosing transportation and trucking?
Well, I think it's such a great opportunity. Like you said, I mean, what attracted me to this particular industry is the fact that, if you think about it, every single thing that we do in this country at some point or other travels by truck. Mm-hmm. So, to me, it seems such a fundamental backbone of the way that this country operates, or any country operates. Mm-hmm. And so, that's what made me so excited about it. And in fact, what's so interesting is, with all of these companies having issues due to COVID, it's the one area where, we've done extremely well because we're offering people jobs, in 6 weeks. And those jobs they're well-paying jobs, and many of them have benefits. Mm-hmm. So I look at that and I think, look, we're really doing something great. And, I love working on Wall Street, but here you just said you came from a graduation. Mm-hmm. You get to meet the people that you're helping, and you get to meet their families, and it's a whole different experience, and I'm really, really enjoying it.
We did have a graduation right before this event, and some of the graduates brought their families with them, the babies. We have one graduate who has a 6-month-old baby, prettiest little thing that you ever want to see, but he is actually waving. So when you look at that, and when I told them the other day, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna get that done quickly, that we want to put up a big sign in our entrance that says transformation, because that's what this industry does for families. It transforms lives. And when we transform lives, we transform communities, because these drivers and their families are going to spend that money in our communities. They're going to empower their families for better education. They're going to be able to provide a better quality of life for their families. So trucking and transportation, when I think about women and why we should choose trucking, is because if you're ready to transform your life, this is the place where you need to be. And what a perfect time as what we're going, I said it's a perfect time when I'm talking about COVID, but these are opportunity for us in the midst of this pandemic for women to say, I'm tired of working 2 jobs to make 1 job. I'm tired of working 3 jobs. I know women who are working 3 jobs to make 1 salary, and it's still not enough. But this is the only industry that I know of, Donna, where you can guarantee to say, I can make a plan for myself for 3 years, for 5 years. Would you say so?
Oh, well, definitely. And I was with my degrees, because I actually was working on my doctorate when I became a truck driver. I had no intention of doing this for a living. I just found out that it fits perfect with me. But a lot of your different companies are now stepping it up, and not only are they making it easier for women, but I know like Total Transportation pays for any of their drivers to go to college.
Wow.
And they'll pay all the way up through the master's degree.
Wow.
And they'll pay for the people's children to also go to college.
Wow.
So, I mean, and it's a full ride scholarship. I mean, where are you going to get with not a ton of paperwork?
Mm-hmm.
You're not waiting on the government to open up so you can fill out FAFSA forms. You are literally just signing up and you're able to go to college at an accredited university.
Right. And
you're
Shakira,
able to do that, you know, with your teenagers.
yeah, that's empowering. And Shakira, where are you hearing from women out there? Women that you're talking to at the various schools, or women that are already or come on board with Swift Transportation?
So we have seen an increase in numbers, especially.
I think we have a little delay in the Wi-Fi.
What they
Okay.
can do.
Okay.
And just as a prime example is Donna, who has done so much with her company, who has done owner-operator, who's been a trainer, who's done an array of things. And like she says, you will have great companies out here like Total, like Swift, who are willing to not just put you in a position to even do any of those things. If you want to be a recruiter, if you want to be an owner-operator, safety leader, terminal leader, we have an array of things for ladies to do, as well as be able to pay for them, as well as their families to go to college. So when women hear that, they look at this industry and say, hey, this is a win-win for me, because I can honestly go over the road, but there's so much that I can do. And as she mentioned, typically you may have classes that are 4 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks, and you have an array of opportunities that can last you a lifetime. As I tell every class that I speak to, I tell them 40% is the CDL, 60% is the drive. And it's honestly what you want out of this industry, but that's the beauty of it. There's so much that you can do, and even during this time, like you said, of COVID, trucks have not stopped moving. And that's the beauty of this industry, is that you're going to have a job. We need you. We need drivers. We need women to diversify the area. We just need, drivers to see that we need you all. This world, as she says, does not move without you. So when women come into the industry and they see that, and then they see the equality of it, they look at this and say, you know what, in a lot of cases, they say, hey, this is almost better than going to college. And like I tell them, we don't shun college. We even want to help you earn that degree as well as your children. So when women see that, it's more of a family atmosphere, because we always have someone who can give them the knowledge, no matter what the industry is. Like she said, but that's the beauty of it. There's so much that women can do in the industry.
Willie, I had a student that had for years left her child at home while she went to work at a factory. And I only had her on my truck for a week during her training process. And during that week, her final week, she did 3,600 miles. I mean, that's a burner.
Yeah.
And she was getting ready to take her upgrade test, and I texted her because I was filling out all the paperwork. And the text I sent her was, congratulations, you did 3,600 miles. Your paycheck as a starting driver would have been $1,368 gross.
Wow.
You can now afford to take care of your child without your child having to have a job.
Yeah.
And she burst into tears, got me in trouble. But
Yeah.
because she was standing by my boss and said, Donna made me cry.
And that's just starting
That's
out,
the kind of
Donna. Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah. And that's just starting out.
Cassio,
As we know
That
that.
was brand new. We would have,
yeah.
3 months into it, she would have made more per mile.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's exciting. And Tina, what type of changes have you seen trucking companies are making to accommodate women? As you're talking to them.
So it's kind of interesting, because I think what Shakira is saying is absolutely right. There's so much demand to bring women into, by big companies to bring women in, drivers in. And I think it's really diversity. It's all kinds of qualities that women drivers have that differ, not necessarily, just have different strengths. I find women have different strengths to men. And I think that diversity really creates a stronger company. And I think they're recognizing that. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing more women recruiters. We're seeing, more programs that are targeted for to draw and attract women drivers. And, we're, as a woman-owned company, I'm all for it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, let me do anything I can to help women find stability, mm-hmm. which is really what I think this industry does. Because, once you have a CDL, you have it for life.
Yeah.
So it's something that really changes your life in a very fundamental way. And, I do anything I can to help get women to enjoy. One of the things we have noticed, and I don't know whether anybody else is seeing that, is we're seeing a lot of, or we've seen some, I shouldn't say a lot, but we've seen some husband-wife teams or boyfriend-girlfriend teams join because they find it's a great way for them to see the country mm-hmm. be together and make money.
Mm-hmm. I had a conversation with one team, husband and wife team, told me about they drove to, they had a load they had to take out to California and to near Venice Beach, and they took off. They called up the dispatcher and said, look, we want to hang here for a few days. We're going to enjoy the beach here in Venice Beach, and we want to take a few days of vacation. And so when you give us a couple of days before you dispatch us on our next run. And they were able to do that. I mean, what industry, what company would allow you to say, hey, you're going to take off a few days, enjoy the sun, and then be able to come back to work? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of the things that even with solo drivers, I tell them, don't always try to get back to the terminal for your 34-hour reset. Make it count. Mm-hmm. I've gone to museums. I've gone to festivals in local areas and stuff like that. And I will tell you that I know John Stomps, our CEO, has been working very hard with the truck stops, trying to make for safer truck stops and a bunch of the other organizations so that there's a little bit safer for women, because that is one of the areas that we're slightly more vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. And I saw pictures of some of these truck stops. The showers look like spas, I'm sure they're all are not like that. I don't want to paint a picture that is rosy out there, but I saw some of these major ones that practically look like spas. And so I love that.
There's a list of truck stop you want to go to just for the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so you guys, as far as our listeners, I definitely want our listeners to understand that this industry is great. Don't look at it as, I may not be able to, get home to see my family. You have great companies out there like Swift, like Total, who believe in, like she said, the home time. Home time is your home time, but you're not forced to go home. You can enjoy the state that they're actually in. Like she said, visit museums, your vacation time. And a lot of us at companies like Swift, I'm not sure if Total does it, whereas we don't have forced dispatch. So like you said, with the previous, couple, there was a team for you that you had spoke with, you're not forced to take loads anywhere. If you want to take that downtime, you have the ability to do so. So that's the beauty about this industry. And as far as the safety, a lot of our companies have several terminals. Swift, for one, has 40 terminals across the United States. Mm-hmm. So we definitely want our drivers to know that you can be at a terminal. And you have other places. We all want you to be safe, be able to take your family along with you, take a car rider with you. Yep. There's the greatness about this industry. You're not out there alone. Be able to see the world, take someone with you, and just really enjoy that time and be able to make money. Not a lot of us can do all of those things at one time.
Right.
I think about the idea of a woman being in a truck, and she's a truck driver, and she's out there doing her business and taking care of business, and then she has a 14-year-old or 16-year-old daughter that can go with her and experience what she does. I mean, it's an education in itself, because that child may never get an opportunity. Kids. Yeah. What did you say, Don?
3 out of 4 of my kids have ridden with me at one time or another, and they've gone to California with me, Oregon, everywhere. So we've had, I've been able to enjoy some of that time with them and get to show them the world that I wasn't necessarily exposed to because, we were here. and we do not have the forced dispatch, just like y'all. And so it makes it so that if you show up at say we have a terminal in Shippensburg, well, that's right near the Poconos, so you can just go ahead and go for a nice vacation. So and you can put in for home time, like you said, at all these different states, or you can get home when you want to. And that, I will say, that is one of the things that I've enjoyed about my company, is being, in fact, I literally drove here, set up for this meeting, because I am just coming back from the beaches of South Carolina.
And I want to talk a little bit about from the school perspective. Of course, here our program is a 4-week course, 168 hours. And I say to people all the time that I want to be clear. We're talking about all the great opportunities, but I say to people when I interview them for enrollment, I give them the good, bad, and ugly. And I said, everybody can't be a truck driver. You may think you can. You see those trucks, and the kids poke the horn, and they're excited because of the big truck. But this is a serious job. It is a job of somebody who has to have commitment. You have to be dedicated. You have to have a plan. Every day you have to have a reason for being out there on the road. Either the financial side of it is because you want to see the country. It's because you want to transform your life. It's because you enjoy being out there on the road. You got to have a reason to be involved in this particular industry, and you got to be committed to it. Safety is, truck drivers, we require them to be more safe than anybody else, I think, any other industry out there. And it's a tough job. As Tina said, everything that we utilize, from my earrings, from my pearls, from my shirt, from everything around me, this conversation that we have depends on truckers and truck drivers getting the product from point A to point B, but not just getting it there, but getting it there on time and getting it there safely. So this is a serious career, and everybody can't do it. Everybody can't do it. Some of the best folks that I interview, after talking with them, I say to them, after understanding what they want to get accomplished, I'd say, hey, you're a good guy. You got a good work history here, but I just don't think this is for you, because it's a tough job. It is a tough job. It is a serious job. So I say, but for those who are willing to make a commitment, who are serious about transforming your lives, it is really great. And we need people. We need people who are committed to safety, committed to excellence. You got to have a commitment to excellence. You got to do things, and you got to do it right in the trucking industry. And that's why it's so amazing, but that's why it comes with the great benefits that it comes with. So, Tina, as another woman who is running and operating and owns a truck driver training school, what are some of the conversations you're having with some of your recruits, and how do you approach this particular approach to people who are just even interested in getting into this industry?
Yeah, so we have a couple of recruiters that go through kind of what to expect and how, what it requires, because like you said, they don't really understand what the commitment is. I'm not talking about school. I'm talking, first, if they can't commit to school, they certainly can't commit to this career. But just in terms of like what the commitment to the career is, and it's like, look, you can be away from home, but the sacrifice that you make from being away from home is that you can earn enough money that it can make it worthwhile. And at some point you can make that transition where you can be an owner operator, control your own schedule. But also what Shakira and Donna are saying is that there's flexibility to the schedule. It's not completely fixed, but it is a commitment that you have to make to the company that you work for, as well as to yourself. And a lot of them, I think, don't really understand that going in. But then once they sort of, we don't, I have a lot of military guys on my training side, and we train a lot of military. So I think that once they start recognizing that there's the schedule and the commitment of the schedule, they get a general sense of kind of, okay, when we say 7:00, we don't mean 7:05. We mean 7:00.
That's right.
So, and they have to understand that this, you can't be late. It's all about managing your time management efficiencies and things like that we try to train as we're going through class. But we really sort of talk to them about like what to expect, what to expect from a commitment perspective, as well as from a commitment from a company's perspective as well, like what to expect from the companies. We have a lot of different recruiters come in, but what you and I talked about is we try to tailor that to maybe 4 or 5 different companies. Generally it's between 3, I'd say between 3 and 5 companies come in and talk to students and talk about like what to expect. And I think it's really good to have more than one recruiter come in, because you get a general sense. They sort of see what the general themes are, and then they see the differences in the companies. And I think it's really helpful. They may make a decision based on their personal needs in one direction or another, but I feel like it's important to have a balanced number of views, but you don't want to take away from the training, so you don't want too many. But I think 3 is kind of a perfect number.
Yeah, and that's what we try to do here. We try to develop a relationship with a very small basket of carriers. Now, we don't limit our students to, they can, if they find somebody out there else that they want to go to work for, that's fine. But we try to build relationships of course, Tola is one of our partners, and Swift Transportation is one of our partners, and they come through regularly to talk with our students. And so I think that is important. And one of the things I want to say, too, when we talk about the opportunities and what's a good fit, when I think of millennials, what I'm being told from millennials, and I'm working with several young women right now I'm learning a lot about how millennials think, which are very, very differently. They're saying millennials aren't going into jobs where they want to be on a job for 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. Millennials, they're changing jobs on a more frequent basis. Sometimes maybe even 2 jobs within 1 year. So when you look at transportation and the flexibility, I think what it does is bring stability to millennials. If you're looking for that career where you can be stable but still have flexibility in your life, we're doing right now a lot of reaching out to millennials and saying that you need to consider transportation as an option for you. So definitely.
Yeah, so I just want to jump in and add on that. I think it's one of the things that we've done is in the 2 years that I've taken over the school is we've done a lot of social media advertising. And I think because of that, we are drawing a lot of younger people, which I thought was interesting. When I came in, it was generally the stereotypical, older gentleman or who's kind of looking for a second career. And I think in the last couple of years, I think it may be industry as well as just the way that we've approached it. But I've seen a massive difference. Like there's a huge age difference in the past couple of years of people who are, in their 20s and 30s that have decided to shift careers. Yeah. And they're excited about it. And I think they are looking at it, like you said, as something that, they may not do forever, but they will always have that skill in their back pocket to be able to do it if things change again. But meanwhile, they'll do it for a couple of years and kind of explore what they want to do. And we're seeing a lot of companies also give this tool to some of their employees. So I've seen a jump in corporate trainings. I think we had like 30 different companies send their employees for CDL training in the last year. So it's very, very different from a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And one of the things that we do here also, our goal is for people to be successful. So we do quite a bit of soft skill training here. And I was just listening in on one of the professors who does a class for us. And she was doing this class that introduces them to some of the soft skills and try to help them identify their strengths and their weaknesses. And I love the section that she did on identifying your superpower. And it's amazing. The young men who came out of that class said to me, gosh, I had never thought about that. What is my superpower? Where are my strengths? But she called it superpower, but she's talking about what are your strengths and your talents that you need to make sure that you're aware of that will make you successful in this particular industry. You may be great at time management. That may be your talent. You may have what I love is the ability to be able to communicate with people. When you hit that dock and you might have somebody who's in a bad mood, and if you don't approach them the right way, they'll tell you, get out of here, go to the end of the line. And then next thing you know, you're late for your next delivery because you dealt with somebody, not because they had an issue with you, but they were having a bad day. So you need to know how to communicate with people, how to have a dialogue with them. And you're going to meet a lot of folks out there. I think that's one of the most incredible things about truck driving is meeting the diverse amount of people that you have there. Would you say, Donna, that was the most exciting things?
I would definitely agree. And I honestly feel that women, historically women have been better risks insurance-wise because we're more cautious of a driver. But we're also finding that they're much better at multitasking, which a lot of times people don't realize. They think, you're just sitting there holding a steering wheel. They're not realizing that you're looking at anywhere from, 6 to 8 meters every 5 seconds and looking ahead and watching the back of your trailer. And women historically are able to catch on to that a little bit faster than the men are even. And I find it very interesting because you talked about jumping from, I call it jumping from job to job. And in my day, because I'm a little older, you didn't do that. It didn't look good on you.
Right.
But one of the good things about some of the major carriers like Toll and Swiss, is there's such a diversity right within the same company. Just like I did the team and the solo. So I didn't have to go to the next company. We also do doubles and triples. We have, some hazmat. Swift, I believe, also does some tankers. It's amazing, and you have the opportunity. Okay, say I come out here, I'm driving a truck, it doesn't suit me. I'm better at office stuff. Well, I'm able to interview within my own company, so I'm not looking like a flake that's just jumping from job to job. I actually am able to improve myself and what I want to be doing, and even where I am at in life. Now OTR is great for me. If I'm 20, I may be thinking, okay, someday soon, I may want to have a child. Okay, now I can go regional or I can go local. And so this industry really does fit the needs of a woman in all different ways.
Yeah. And Shakira, I know with Swift, you all do a tanker division. Do you have flatbed too?
The only thing we do not have is tanker.
Okay.
So we have drive-in, refrigeration, and flatbed, but the only thing we don't have is tanker.
But a lot of your recruiters are being recruited from your base of CDL drivers too.
Absolutely. If you even look in our office setting, just an example is our Memphis, Tennessee office. We have a set number of recruiters. And many of those recruiters, whether they're male or female, have CDLs. And so you will see that, like Ms. Donna was saying, that's the beauty about this industry, the fact that you can transition. You don't have to leave the company. You can transition from one thing to another. And so many of us as companies offer your drive-in, refrigeration, intermodal, heavy haul. We offer so much. So if you're looking to get another endorsement, if you're looking, like she said, to have a baby, you want to come off the road and go dedicated, go local. You have the opportunity. And even if you want to come off the road, you can go into the office. You have so much that you can do. And I think, honestly, a lot of times with this industry, when I talk to classes, it's great to have a female mentor like Ms. Donna, whereas they can give you the insight about the industry and let you know that there's so much that you can do. It's the beauty of that about the industry, to have female trainers as well. We want you to be comfortable. That's another thing that we also offer, because we give our trainees the opportunity to say, if I want a male or female. And so that gives them the comfortability to be able to, have the experience behind the wheel, Also be able to, meet a mentor that they can always have, a relationship with, be able to answer questions. So it starts the relationship, a lot early. So the company offers, so much, with the trucking industry. And it starts with the student, and I say with the mentors.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna throw this question out there for everybody: is that how should women, if women are thinking about getting into this career, or if they are fit for this career, how should they begin to prepare for to become a truck driver?
Their families.
Okay.
Prepare their families, because as women, we tend to be very open to everybody asking us, "Hey, can you help me with this?" and problem solving for everybody. And your family has to realize, it's almost like being a member of the military. Mm-hmm. Your family has to realize that you have to be able to focus, because it is a dangerous job. Mm-hmm. I can't be solving my 25-year-old's problems while I'm trying to go through Dallas, Texas. Mm-hmm. And they have to understand that. Mm-hmm. And that probably is the hardest part of doing this. Also, do your research about your companies. Talk to other drivers. Talk to the recruiters. Look on Glassdoor. Really do your homework on these companies.
I like the fact that she said that, and I know we all have a different setting. Like for me, so I'm the person that students would see, because I'm usually the face of the company. And just picking back off of what Donna and Tina both said, Donna was just saying, do your research. I talk to classes, and the first thing that I tell them is, go out and do your research. I'm going to tell you the great things that my company has to offer, but I want you to do your own research. And what I mean by that is understand that I'm giving you 100% facts. You should be able to call a 1-800 number. You should be able to message a driver that you know from Facebook or Instagram, or even walk up to a random driver and be able to say, hey, is this true? Did this person tell me the correct information? And so it's very important for us to understand that. And so once you do your own research, you feel so much better. And the fact that you can even piggyback, like I said, for your recruiter, or as your mentor, it's really a step-by-step process. And I think we all, Tina would be the first person that you would see. I would be the second person as the recruiter. And then Donna would be the mentor that you would go into. So we all have different stages. And so I just tell people, keep in contact. I get students that call me. I probably have not talked to them in months, but they'll call me for advice. Whether they come to our company or not, sometimes they'll call me and say, hey, I should have done this, or I should have done that. So it's always important for us to give students the truth. It's very important. Give them the truth. Let them be able to make their own decisions about what's best for them, because it helps with turnover. It helps with an array of things, and you don't want to waste anyone's time. And so I just feel like if you give them the correct information, let them be able to make that decision, on their own. So, students have, like I said, they come into the industry not knowing, first off. And so it's new to them. They will, see Tina first, and it's only so much that a school can teach you. Mm-hmm. They're there to teach you how to drive. Mm-hmm. I come in to educate you and tell you about some of the things that we offer. I may not tell you all of the bad things, and I tell them, hey, give me a call. It's going to be more of all the great things that we have to offer. There are some great things, and there also are some drawbacks to this industry. But like you said, if you come in disciplined, know what you want, you definitely can achieve it. And Donna is a prime example of that. There's so much that you can do with this industry, and she's still not done. When you look up within 2 years, who knows what she's going to be doing, within the next couple of years.
I'm taking John Stomps' place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're going to have to bring you into DSE Training Academy, Donna. Definitely.
My mother used to tell me a saying that she enjoyed, and it was, I once thought somebody should do something about that. And then I realized I was somebody. Mm. And the interesting thing about this industry, and I'm going to challenge every woman that listens to this, and please tell 10 other women, if there's a problem, don't just jump from job to job. Mm-hmm. Make a change. Make a phone call. Send an email. Because this is a very transitioning industry for women. Mm-hmm. And, historically it's been run by a bunch of good old boys, and we're having to kind of break through and change. And I give so much respect for the women that came before me 20 and 30 years ago.
Wow.
Because I could only imagine what it was like for them.
Wow.
But at the same token, I want, if my daughter or my granddaughter decides to get into this industry, her not to have my fights.
Right.
And so make a change.
Yeah. And
Don't
that's so
just
important. That's
walk
so
away.
important. Communication is not going to be perfect. I've been in this industry for over 28 years, and at one point we had a large staffing firm where we hired drivers, and I tell them over and over again, every day, and even every day now that we're back in the school businesses, every day is different. I do not walk in this building having a day that I had yesterday that looked like a week ago, or even the Monday of the week that we're in right now. Every day is different, but it's the most exciting opportunity. I tell you, it is the most exciting thing. I am an A-type personality. I like doing things. I like being creative. I like being empowering, and truck driving brings that to my life. Every single day is different. I have to make decisions that I didn't make yesterday. I have to make decisions that I didn't make a week ago. It is all new and it's all fresh. And I think most women like that. They like to be empowered by that,
And
sorry,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Donna. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, one of the things that I do see with women is that there are aspects that they're not comfortable with, and it gets a little scary. You're not, the backing is the biggest one that you hear. Well, I can't back. Well, great. Most guys end up backing boats and all that, and we don't. We just, sit there and maybe parallel park every now and again. But I have found, and I try to tell, because I have a lot of female students, and I tell them, I said, you be safe, and we teach you the ways to be safe. And I don't think there's a day that I back that truck that I say, I'm just so good at this.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, because half the time it's very challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But I just look at them and I say, you don't have to be perfect. Stop comparing yourself with people that may have different experiences. And sometimes you just got to hold a little tighter that steering wheel and remember that you got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to jump on that story because I was remembering a student that we had who was this tiny little thing. She wasn't even 5 foot tall, and she couldn't reach the pedals.
We have one of those.
Yeah.
But she was Army, so she refused to back down. She figured out a way to get there. She's like, I was like, I knew she had to be successful in the military because she just was like, I'm going to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
And, I had a truck that had an adjustable seat at a different location, and I had the truck moved for her. I said, bring it here so she can use it. And she took her test on that on that truck, and she got it first time out at the DMV.
Right.
Because that girl, she was young. Mm-hmm. She was like, I'm not giving up, even though I can't reach the pedals. I mean, it was incredible to watch her train. She was great.
And you talk about that too.
It's a lesson to all of us that physically, it doesn't matter if you think it's, I can't get into this thing, it's so big. The reality is, they are now the technology is so advanced that the trucks are really, like, they drive so easy relative to where they were. They're powered, they're automatic. We have one automatic truck. We have mostly manuals, but we have automatics for reasons like that where, she could do the manual shifting. She just couldn't reach the pedals in time.
Mm-hmm. And most of you, Swift and Total, both of your organizations are mostly automatic vehicles. Yeah. So that's great. And I hear that there's some vehicles that will also have adjustable pedals for those individuals too. Some of the newer trucks are coming out.
So yes, and so go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, don't feel limited by physical capability.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one thing that I always thought when I kind of came into this industry. When I saw the industry, I always knew males. My brother-in-law was a truck driver, but I never thought of this industry as a woman. So when I kind of started recruiting, I was recruiting years prior. And then when I started recruiting for the trucking industry, I said, why didn't anyone ever tell me as a woman about this industry. There's so much that I can do. And then I thought, well, maybe I'm too small because I'm 4'11".
Yeah.
So maybe I'm small. I am a regional recruiter, so I have several states. And so I would go into schools and I would see instructors. I know 2 instructors, actually 3. They're all about 4'11", 5 feet, and they all have been driving for about 20 years.
Wow.
Listen, and when I saw them, I said, you know what? It's good for women to see this. It's important. Do not limit yourselves. To our listeners, don't think that I'm too short. I mean, nothing. Even our male listeners, don't think that you're too small. There is nothing that limits you in this industry. I have seen, and some people say, hey, even if you're going to do flatbed, you have to be physically fit. I've seen a 60-year-old still do flatbed. It's honestly about what you want out of the industry, and that's the greatness about it. Whether you're, usually most major companies, we hire at 21 to 60, there are no limits. And that, according to you, according to what you want out of the industry, there is an array of opportunities, and that's the good thing about this trucking industry.
I have a real good friend who has a newspaper that she's a newspaper publisher, and she's turned the newspaper, she's retired and turned the newspaper over to her daughter, and she got married. She's in her 60s, I think late 60s, and she, if she's listening, if I'm wrong on the number, I apologize, but I know she's in her 60s, and she just recently got married to a truck driver who was a flatbed driver, and he's in that age range also. And so now they're seeing the country together. She's sharing with us all these historical cities because she's this great historian and a publisher of a newspaper who was all about history. Now when she goes to the Grand Canyon and all these major cities, she reports back on Facebook the history of those cities. And she talks about seeing those cities, and she meets she shares with us stories of some of the people that she meets. So that's why I say this industry is so incredible, because here are 2 people past their 60s that are using truck driving as an opportunity to empower their lives, to bring a whole different perspective to what they say they want their quality of life to look like, Yeah. So we're almost wrapping down with our time. So I want to we have just a couple of minutes left, but I want to first share, Shakira, please tell people how to get connected to Swift. Of course, they can come here to DSE Training Academy to get their training if they're in our area, and then get on the road to success with Swift. And we really say that you should choose these companies that are partnering with us. But tell folks how they can get more information about your organization. And then, Donna, I want you to share the same information.
Okay.
Before I say what I have to say about our company, I just want to give you a round of applause, Ms. Jones, just because one thing that I do love about you and everything that is just DSE is the fact that you all are putting women in the position to be empowered. We don't see that. We don't honestly see that enough. And I know I love that about you, and I know that you all have scholarships that are out there. So even if cost or money is an issue, please don't hesitate to reach out to Ms. Jones if you are in the Mississippi area. She definitely will do her best to guide you. And she is even, students who aren't enrolled, she has given them my number to actually have them be able to ask me questions so I can help them understand about the industry and what it has to offer. So I really just want to say thank you for what you're doing in the community. And for Swift Transportation, you all can actually go online at swifttrans.com and be able to do an application and also see everything that we have to offer. You can go on swifttrans.com and also type in women in trucking, and you also will be able to see the great aspects that we're actually doing for our women as well.
Great. Donna?
You can go online to totalms.com, and we also have phone number of 1-800-942-2104. And if you go to our website, as like Swift is, we also have different information about drivers and some of the opportunities and some of the history of the company. And we just look forward. I mean, if you're in the Mississippi area, come over to the terminal.
Yeah. And look, Tina, we're talking nationally. We're, of course, on social media and all of our radio networks. I get people calling me from the East Coast who tune into our radio network every week. I have women from New Orleans who say, who want to join our women's organization. They said, look, I use your Facebook page to get information to empower me. That's where I get all of my great information. So we know we're talking to women from all over. So if there's some Californians, West Coast folks that are out there that's looking for a place to train, please share where your information and where they can get information about California Truck Driver Training School.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, first of all, I must say I really enjoyed this. This is new to me, and I thought it was really great. And thanks, Shakira and Donna, for being part of it. It was great. I really enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Yeah, so I'm in California. Obviously, I'm in Southern California. I'm in Orange County as our home base, but we also have 2 campuses in Fontana and also in Barstow. So we have, these are 3 campuses. Our 800 number is 800-581-2048. And you can find us on the web at ctdanow.com. And it outlines all of our programs and all of our classes that are available. And then we also are on social media as CA Truck Driving Academy, both in Instagram and on Facebook. Okay. So, please feel free to follow us. We have some cool different memes and things that we put up there every day.
Okay, great. And I want to reiterate again that I'm of course here at DSC Training Academy. We're located on 55 South in Jackson, Mississippi. Our website is drivingyourfuturems.com, drivingyourfuturems.com, or you can go to dsctrainingacademy.com and get us. Our telephone number is 601-351-5858, 601-351-5858. Please reach out to us. We have an incredible staff here. Over the past few months, due to COVID, some of them have been working from home and limited staff within, but we're here to help you. Even if you're just calling and want to know information about this industry, we are here for you to empower you. And I tell you, a lot of times you may come in thinking you're going to enroll with DSC Training Academy, and you tell me about a dream that you have to get into construction. I will connect you to some folks that put you into construction to get you training and get you a job. So we're here about just empowerment. We are a for-profit company. Of course, we want to make money to do what we do, but it is our first priority is to empower people in jobs that's going to transform your life. You need to have a job. You need to have a career that not only brings you joy and satisfaction, but also make sure that it empowers your financial situation so that you can help create a quality of life for yourself and your family. And thank you so much for everybody that's been tuning in today and listening today. We thank you so much. And all of you wonderful ladies, Tina, Shakira, Donna, I feel like we have all created a new relationship and bonding together. Yes. So let's do this again. Let's not make this a one-time deal. This has been an awesome conversation. I feel like I've had all of you all at my home on my kitchen table, so this has been wonderful.
Dinner at her house.
I hear you, Donna. Thank you so much. And Donna, when you're through here, you got to stop in. You got to stop in and say hello to us. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I want to say again, this is thanks to Women for Progress Radio Network and DSC Training Academy's partnership for this dialogue and podcast. Again, I want to say to women, power is in everything we do and everything we are. And you can do anything that you want to do. We can do it. So whether it's transportation, whether it's electrical engineering or being a plumber or doing whatever you do, do not set limits for yourself. Don't look at these opportunities as non-traditional careers. Look at these things as opportunities to live out your dreams, to get accomplished what you want to do and want to have for your family. So thank you all so very much for tuning in. This has been another edition and session for Women for Progress Radio Network. For all of our programming and all of our schedules, because we got so much going on. If you want to be part of the organization, Women for Progress of Mississippi, go to our radio website at womenforprogressradio.com. womenforprogressradio.com. A list of all of our networks and radio connections are there. Or go to our website at womenforprogress.net. womenforprogress.net if you want to get connected to the work that we do in our community and in this state of Mississippi. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Willie Jones. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Was that